turned into a nightmare on July 7th, 2025. Inside her home, 12-year-old Bridget Wainaina, a Class 7 pupil, was struck by a stray police bullet during the violent Sabasaba protests. Her school uniform, once a symbol of her dreams, now haunts Kenya as a reminder of a future stolen, fueling demands for accountability.
Jana tulikuwa kwa nyumba na mtoto wangu muda wa 6:20 hapo, na ndio tukasikia kitu imelia na sauti kubwa sana. Tukiwa kwa nyumba kama tumekaa chini na kumwangalia kwa mkono, nikaona akona damu. Wakati niliona akona damu, tulidhani ni kitu imemkata, kama ni kitu imepasuka. Wakati nilimshika mkono kuangalia damu imetoka wapi, ndio mtoto wangu akaanguka chini, na kumwangalia nikaona akona shimo kwa kichwa. Ndio nikapiga duru, baba yake akakuja, alikuwa narisha kuku.
Kuzi kama mtoto wangu alikufa nini? Alikuwa tu ameketi kwa nyumba. Just kusimama tu kuziangalilia hivyo mtoto wangu anashutiwa. Nao maserikali wanaenda tu wanaenda tu hivi, hata waangalie kwenye wanashuti. Just kuua jiwana huruma. Wakumbuke ni wazazi.
Now, fellow Kenyans, let me first take this opportunity to thank you for what you did. Guys, you are an amazing team. What you did is something that I don't know how to appreciate you. We finished well yesterday. The battle was yesterday. We finished well, so that is why I've been busy. I've not shooted any video, you know, doing the clearance and all that. So we finished so well. I have to appreciate you for that. Those who came in, you know, those who chipped in, whatever you did, guys, you are an amazing team. I have to appreciate you for what you did. Now, let me say this very quickly, that there is something that is happening in this country. I really don't know how we are going to maneuver through it, or how we are going to go around it, because as things are right now, you find that everybody is doing what he or she feels like they feel like they want to do. Why am I saying them? I'm saying this because I want us to take a look at what is happening in the government currently. People are being killed. People are dying. There are things that whenever you look at them, you ask yourself, was this supposed to be a priority? Like, was it a must? Then if it's not a must, then it doesn't need to be done. The president himself is saying whatever he wants to say. Everybody is talking about what they want to talk about. But is it really a necessity? Now, Bishop John is talking about Bishop John is talking about something here, which I would like us to listen to. I told you that if we can find as many pastors or as many bishops, as many teachers of the word, as many bishops in this country of Kenya who are like this man, then I think we will be somewhere. So far, people who say things the way they are, people who hit the nail on the head, they don't boycott anything, they don't sugarcoat anything, they correct. And one thing I love with this man is that he's not biased. Like, he say if he's trying to correct the Gen Zs, he talk to them directly. If he's talking to the millennials, he's talking to them directly. It's not like now the millennials are the best, the Gen Zs are the best, the government is bad. If it is correcting the government, he corrects the government directly without boycotting anything. Now, I want us to listen to this man from the beginning up to the end. And please don't forget to click the subscribe button. You can as well like, you can share and drop me a comment at the comment section, tell me what you think and where exactly you're watching this video from.
To you, my brothers and sisters across the divide of our beautiful land of Kenya, our God-given nation. My name is C.W. John, lead minister here at Share the Love Center located in Murang'a, specifically Kenol Town. I bless the Lord for this opportunity that He has granted us, that we can be able to bring and shed light to matters affecting our nation, both in a positive and in a negative way, with only one agenda, which is to make sure that peace and justice prevails over it all. Thank you very much. It is my view that this broadcast, looking at the kind of feedback that we are getting back, and it is my view, looking at that this program is of great help to both all the Christians across the divide, the non-believers that are already Kenyans, and many people in their walks of life. I am grateful to God for this great opportunity. Thank you very much. We'll begin our live broadcast today by looking at some critical issues that we see are affecting the nation, with the hope that we will shed light enough to chart a course for many generations, starting with this one. Thank you very, very much. As usual, as you know, the Bible, the scriptures are our guide, and we do not in any way waver outside the scripture. And as we continue, I would like to say that it might look as if it's something new that we are doing here. But following the words of our great fathers of old, it is captured in the Holy Scriptures that truly there is nothing new under the sun. It simply might be new to you, the things that we are trying to do, but it's not new to our fathers. We are not the first people to bring about change in this way. We are not the first people to advocate for justice in this way. We are not necessarily the first church. There have been many fathers of old that have gone this direction, men that it was captured in them that they were weeping prophets. Other prophets spoke to kings. Other prophets spoke to leaders. Other prophets were sent to deliver nations. People like Esther. Others, people like Deborah, were sent to judge over territory. So what we are doing here, it is nothing short of that which has already been done. It's just that it might be new to you. And so bear with us. In the view that you feel that we are stepping outside the boundaries of Christianity, please bear with us. But where Kenya is right now, a voice of reason is needed if you're going to take this generation forward. A voice of reason. Beyond a voice of tribalism, beyond a voice of selfishness, beyond a political voice, beyond a voice of religion, we desire a voice of reason. And it is my humble desire that this platform will offer that which is needed to help, among many other voices, to chart a course that we're able to help this generation to move towards a better tomorrow. Thank you very much. Remember, yes, I'm a man of God. Yes, I'm a pastor. I am also a Kenyan citizen. And in the dealings of Paul, at some point, you remember I shared with you earlier on when he was about to be arrested, he relayed back on his Roman citizenship so that whatever the case that was on ground, he should be tried in Rome because he was a citizen of Rome. So inasmuch as we are believers, Bible-believing Christians, tongue-speaking Christians, it is needful for you to understand that we are at the same time Kenyans, and therefore the same price of salt that you are buying it for, I'm buying it for. The same price of flour you are buying it for, I'm buying it for. The same corruption that is affecting you is affecting me. Murder cases that are affecting you are affecting me. If there is an economical problem, it's affecting you and affecting me. So it's not the fact that we are believers, that we are living outside of this world. It is captured in the scriptures that we are in the world, but we are not of the world. And therefore we stand here to speak in that reality, having understanding that we are believers first, and at the same time, we are Kenyan citizens. And as a Kenyan citizen, we have the right to touch base with that which affects many people, both locally and abroad, as pertaining to the things that God has brought into this nation. And so I stand as a humble citizen of this nation, as a man of God that has seen the things of God, as a Christian, as a Kenyan, helping Kenyans push through these dire situations to the glory of God. I'm going to begin with a Bible verse, and I pray that it will be a blessing to you. Please, I request of you, believers, listen to understand. Do not listen to only respond. Thank you very much. So the problem now, I've already seen it. Is the media there? Can they show us what the age brackets are? So that we see, what does it mean? If Gen Z, or rather millennial, is a group called that. No, it's not a group. It's an age bracket. Today I'm speaking about the age bracket. What is happening in Kenya, it is we that are our own enemies. We are fighting ourselves. And that's why I've told you the easiest way to deal with this situation is to move out of the streets first. So that the people that go to the streets, we will know it is the Generation Z and the millennials that have decided to bring us down. The shame that they want to bring to you, if you are not intelligent young people, because sometimes when you are young, you think you know it all. If you are not intelligent, your groups will be labeled as rebels, as anarchists. And I've told you from the first time, we are not here for anarchy. We are here for change. Now, let's look at this. These are the group bats, and you can see them clearly on this ground. So let's say it's not Gen Z, it is Gen Z and it is millennials. Because the people that entered my car, they were 19. I remember I was even asking them, how old are you? And why are you here? He said, Hakuna makazi. It is us. It is us killing ourselves. The first person there is Generation Alpha. This is 2010 to 2020. Generation Z. Which year is that? 1997 to 2012. Then we have the millennials, 1981 to 1996. Those are the people there. You rarely see between 1965 to 1980. You rarely see between 1946 to 1965. Where will you even meet the silent? How can they even run when it's time for trouble? So it is the two groups there, Gen Z and millennials. Those are the people that are on the street. And in order for us to get the culprits, I'm here to tell you as a pastor, I give you understanding like David. This time around, don't just go up attempting to win the battle. First Chronicles, study it. Once the doctor x-ray, the bones that your eyes cannot see will be visible on the x-ray. If we pull back and allow us to see who are the politicians fueling this thing, who are the ministers fueling these things, who are the pastors fueling these things, who are the businessmen fueling these things, who are the Gen Zs fueling these things, Kenya is becoming Kenya's enemy. We are our own enemy. So before we sit here and say, it is not this, it is this ones, it is us, because the people doing that are young people. And I want to condemn it. All those of you that entered into people's shops, breaking people's shops, you are a very ignorant person. That person you are stealing from, what have they done to you? We are going to show some videos here of some of the things that happened. Some of the things that happened. I was so shocked because I sat down with the police of my area looking at the way county supermarket was broken into. I asked them, you are literally 1 minute to the event. How could that happen? They explained to me that they had no tear gas. Can you imagine? That they had to wait for tear gas. Why couldn't you shoot live ammunition? Or if we shoot, they'll begin to arrest us. We have even put fear on good policemen. Where did we get to that we are now entering to ban police stations? We are now entering to, what have we become? I was on the street. I saw Haiti with my own eyes. I almost died. What was my mistake? To go home. Some people are taking advantages of this movement and they are showing their wickedness. Thieves are in this thing. Murderers are in this thing. Liars are in this thing. Drug cartels are in this thing because their agenda is to overthrow so that they can have their own platform. Young people, let's be intelligent. This time around, we need to understand what we are up against so that we can be able to change the narrative. Else, if you don't listen, one day your group, Kenya, will become an enemy to your group because you did not use wisdom. At this particular time, the doctor says, I want to do an x-ray. There are conditions. Number one, don't eat. Or don't do this if it's, what do you call that, the one that women use to check their wombs. Don't eat. Don't do this for 8 hours. Don't, if it's a surgery. There are conditions. In order for us to fish out bad characters, move out of the street. Let us x-ray the situation. Let's x-ray. How do you go to the spa mall? I even thank God for that man, that he had a gun. If that man did not have a gun, he would have vandalized the spa mall. What was the real plan for Maandamano? Saba, what was it for? Because the things that we saw, they are purely theft. We cannot run a nation with thieves. We cannot be outside there saying the government needs to hear us and we are crippling the whole economy. That cannot happen. People should not close shops simply because you want to protest. But people today are closing shops. People are reinforcing their shops simply because you want to protest. Protest should be done with fairness. Remember, you should not infringe, you should exercise your right without infringing the right of others. So I should not be afraid seeing 10,000 people walking towards me. I should know that it's not me they are after. They are after good governance. Brothers and sisters, all those of you that are fueling goons, all those of you, because I've taken time to, you know me, I don't just come out to speak. All those of you that are fueling goons, we see people putting on lorries. And to you people, forget even the people that, you don't have a brain. You that is entering that lorry and being paid 1,000 to beat someone, don't you have a brain? Don't you have a head? Stop even blaming the people. Are you a child? All those people should be arrested. Because what is shocking me is that the screens, like now, county supermarket, the screens are showing. And how I know it is our people, because I've seen some leaders coming, I've seen some people are coming up and saying, oh, you know, they are from other places. No, don't lie to people. I was here with the OCS of this area. I heard him and he did a great job, the OCS of this area in Kabati. One of the things he did was that as much as I felt that they failed to help the county supermarket situation, and why is it that it's the only supermarket? Even in a place, is it Kagio? You did the same. Here in Kenol, you wanted to do the same. Because that's to tell you that there are other people in business that are trying to sabotage other businesses so that they can capitalize. We are not fools. And then there are people within there that are saying, now, listen to me. How comes that in such a supermarket, I was asking this person, you are saying that it's people from other towns. I was there. I heard when they were raiding people. The things that were found from people within Kabati and Keno. Stop telling us that it's outsiders that is doing this job. We are eating ourselves. Some of you have decided to turn on others. Because those things are not found in Kayole that are stolen in Kabati. They are found here. People's houses were mattresses were being found in people's houses, not far, within Kabati, within Kenol, just within the area. So in as much as we are trying to tell people, those people are coming from outside, how are those things found inside people's houses? It is we that are killing ourselves because we forgot the motive. The motive now became murder and death and killing each other. You will never change wrong by doing wrong. Wrong will only change when right is involved. So we cannot say that it is our people. How do you go to Magunas? What mistake did Magunas do to have a supermarket? And then the lady here in county supermarket says that one of the people that was part of them telling them where to break was a former person. I told you it's an inside job. How do you go to Magunas? You went to Mwea, the place we so many Kenyans passed there. Because we know Mea for rice, you stop there to eat. Look at what you did to Nice City. What was the meaning of all that? What do you think you will achieve? The people that man had employed, what have you achieved? It is so wrong, all those of you that did that. And because the videos are there, I'm wondering why the government is not arresting. Arrest those people. Doesn't matter they are Gen Z. You are not Gen Z. You are wicked people. You can't cripple an economy. And then I heard one of the leaders of opposition here yesterday. Was it Martha Karua? Saying that how to deal with this is that we cripple the economy. What are you saying? Do you know? And then because sometimes young people, we are young and we are ignorant. You cripple the economy and go where? Have you checked what the economy, by crippling the economy, the person that is telling you to cripple has some money and can go to Uganda. The leaders you are speaking about, they can go to the US. In case one of their children falls sick, they can go to the hospital. Where are you going? And you are there telling people that the best thing to do is to cripple the economy. You cripple the economy and hurt who? These people you are trying to go after, they already have money. If you cripple Kenya, they will just go to another nation. Where will you go? Sometimes let's reason. The Bible says, come, let us reason. Let's blame ourselves. Because by the time the politician gives you the money, why don't you take the money and eat and say, I'm not going there. I'm not going there. Take the money and eat. It's your money. If at all they have stolen from you. But I'm not going to kill my brother. What are we doing with our nation? That we cannot pass on the road now. We have to give 200 shillings. Kenya is not Haiti. And this is probably one of my last messages for now, because the Lord told me to come and say this categorically. We are our own enemies. Because by the time that politician gives you money or that businessman gives you money, they don't force you to go. You go there because your heart is evil. I saw those young children. I was like, wow. So if I didn't have this money they're asking for, or rather, because they had already even entered my car, they took my watch. It's just that I was well groomed. I was wondering, what if it was not that case? What would have happened to me? That man came and said, John, CW will know you. Leave him alone. Those people left me. I had to pass like 4 different places. That is not how Kenya will be run. You are supposed to do your things peaceably. And some of you, when you are short, you start complaining. We are going to show you some videos here so that we are ashamed because we are eating ourselves. We became, what the leaders managed to do is to introduce cancer. Cancer is very different. Cancer works from inside, but Ebola works from outside. Like, you have to inhale it. You don't need to inhale cancer. It just works from the inside. And cancer is so silent because I have some doctors in my church. One of the lady doctors here that, or rather that works in the hospital, she came and showed me something I would not want to show here, a video of a cancer tumor that was removed in the body of a person. You don't want to look at it. But in as much as the cancer tumor is on the table, it's outside. It can't hurt me. The cancer is cancerous when it's inside. This thing has become a cancer. It's eating young people from the inside. We are eating ourselves. The cancer is not the generation alpha. The cancer is not CG generation what. The cancer is millennials and Gen Z. We, our people, we are eating our people. Why break into people's shop? Even if you have the right to protest, why break into people's shop? Why? There is nothing wrong with you protesting. But what are we protesting? We need to have a plan. And then you are just there shouting, we have no, what do you call it? We have no leader. I have told you even hell is not leaderless. The reason why now some things are happening, because no one can call you to order. If there were leaders that could have called you to order, then they would have told you, don't do that. But people are now going to the streets to do what they want. And it is captured in the book of Judges, that in those days, there was no king. Everyone did as they wanted. That's what is happening today. Nothing is new under the sun. Everyone did as they wanted. That's not the Kenya we want. We don't want a Kenya where people do what they want. We want a Kenya where people follow the rule of law. That is the Kenya we want. And in order for us to achieve that Kenya, not only the leaders, even the citizens must play their part. We must be willing to remove all forms of darkness from our generation. We must be willing to say no to corruption. We must be willing to say no to extrajudicial killing. Equally speaking, we must be willing to say no to hurting your brother. We must be willing to say no to fueling those goons. We must be willing, because those goons, by the time they burn, why don't you stop them? Don't come and tell us those goons. It is me and you, and I'm putting myself in it. It is me and you that are destroying the Kenya. As much as the leaders are doing their part, now look at what we have done. 2024, how did we begin? Where are we today? We started by understanding that, and we saw the effects. Now today, when we are doing Mandamano, what are the effects of the Mandamano? Look at 2024. A whole bill was brought down. See, things change. If you remember, the president reshuffled, even though, again, they still brought them back to hide our eye, to funga macho, to blind us. But you could see the effects of 2024. Now, the effects of 2025 is what? To cripple an economy. Then we go where? And then the preacher is happy. How will the people in your church get fare to come to church? And then the leader is happy. Who will buy from those businesses you have stolen from and others you have legally? And then the butchery man is happy. Who are you going to sell your meat to? Hospital, who are you going to treat? Businesses, who are you going to sell to? The answer is not to cripple an economy. The solution to Kenya is not to cripple Kenya. It is to remove bad governance. And I've told you time and again, anarchy is not the platform. Sometimes I see some people claiming to be leaders, they post things and I'm like, no, don't take our children to be killed. If our children die, if anyone shoots a person during a protest and they were not doing anything wrong, that person should be held to account. Let's not be tribal. Today I saw the what do you call him? The gentleman that was the judge. That finally the two people, one has been freed and another one has been arrested. I think Baraza is the one that shot. And then this other one, and then now people are saying because he's of this tribe, that's why he has been released. Come on, man, let's stop playing those games. Let's use common understanding, common sense. How can you say the person has been released because he comes from a certain tribe? You can't say that. We are putting tribal problems where they are not. In as much as that person is coming from the tribe of this and that, that's not the reason they have been released. Let's not bring tribalism into everything. Let's look at the facts. The fact is, it is this man that shot him. That's what we are looking at. But to come and say even him, he has been freed because he's in the group of this leader, you can't say that. You can't bring tribalism into justice. No, that's not the Kenya we want. And I'm going to tell you because, you know, I've been dealing with this situation way before you even went out to strike. Someone is asking, why are you correcting the leaders? Because I helped to make them. So it is my moral responsibility. I owe it to Kenyans to help correct the matter. So I have the right to speak the way I'm speaking. I want you to see the following videos. Look at the following videos, and I want you to see these videos and tell me what you see. If this is what we call maandamano, we are not going to maandamano again. And that's why I've told you at this particular hour, we need an X-ray. We need to see the bone of this problem. And in order for you to get an X-ray, you can't get an X-ray when you are moving. Be still now so that we can really get who are the culprits. Come out of the streets now. And just like David, it is not the only way to deal with the situation. Let's first sit and ask, who are these rogue people? Look at these clips and then tell me what you're thinking. Look at the clips.
Annabel Njambi, an entrepreneur and a fighter. For nearly 3 decades, she built her empire, a chain of supermarkets under the name County Supermarkets, among other businesses stretching from Murang'a, Kerugoya, Kagumo, Keno to Kafati. Dreams now lie in ruin. What it took 27 years to build crumbled in just hours. On Tuesday, as Kenyans marked 35 years of Sabasaba, Annabel Njambi never imagined this anniversary will sound what appears to be a death knell for her business empire.
They started with Kabati, where they destroyed the whole shop and actually put it on fire. They came to Keno and destroyed my shop. At the same time, there were other goons in Kagio and Kagumo who also did the same and destroyed my shops completely. Some even took my tuk-tuk. I don't know where they took it. So the gas cylinders. In terms of shillings, we have lost 200 million because some of our buildings are completely damaged. And then we have the looting, the shelves. Some carried the shelves. This was not a demonstration. This was somebody who wanted to put me down. I have 300 staff, young children, who rely on this business, and it has gone down. There are children of 100 in school, in high school, in high school, colleges, universities. Some are even outside the country that I am supporting within the communities that I operate. In Kaigio I have, in Kagumo I have, and even in Keno. What am I going to do with those children? Because September there is no school fees. What am I going to do with those ones? Some even of my staff, I'm taking them to school. I'm not interested in politics. I'm not interested in anything. I'm not interested in anything. I've never even given an interview in the TV station. This is my first one. Whoever did that, may God of thunder find you.
In Machakos County, Julius Kiilu is a man at a loss. His gas business, nurtured over 33 years, was reduced to ashes in minutes after protesters set fire to his truck carrying gas cylinders, frustrated when they were unable to gain entry to his premises.
Wakatoa kioo ikaanguka hapa kwa barabara, ikavunjika. Sasa ndio wakarudi ndani, wakatupa tairi ndani ikiwa na moto. Na hapa Machakos mimi nimezaliwa hapa na nimefanyia biashara hapa. Kwa hivyo ninaweza kusema hawa watu wenye walifanya hayo mambo si watu wa hapa Machakos na si Gen Z.
Nakuru, business owners of West End and Stagemart were among those severely affected by the looting and destruction of property worth millions of shillings.
Mara ya kwanza wakaja wakasukuma wale askari wakaenda, tena askari wakakuja tena wakasukuma wakaenda.
A mobile money agent counts losses worth millions, helpless and heartbroken.
It is so devastating. This business I started like 10 years ago, and like I lost everything in a day.
The aftermath of the looting and destruction in Shaurimoyo, Kamukunji constituency during the Sabasaba protests. Jamlek Njogu, a wholesaler trader who stocks and supplies metallic hardware, was among those hardest hit after his stores were broken into and property stolen.
So kwa saa hii nimeachwa hivyo, nimeibiwa kila kitu, sina gari, sina mali, so niko tu hivyo na sina chochote kwa saa hii, na sina mahali ya kuelekea.
It did not end there. The goons also torched his 2 lorries that he uses to distribute supplies to customers.
Ukiongeza hiyo gharama utapata zinakuja karibu kitu 6 million hizo gari mbili na hii kazi yangu.
Jcw'S immediate neighbors, who are also wholesale traders in Shauri Moyo, were not spared either.
Hapa tulikuwa tumeka hizi vitu trolleys, vitu za hardware, tulikuwa na hii side na hapa.
Kama vile mnavyoona hapa duka vile imevunjwa, tulikuwa na mali ya zaidi ya 1200.
A mobile money agent counts losses worth millions, helpless and heartbroken.
It is so devastating. This business I started like 10 years ago, and like I lost everything in a day.